In this video, we are going to be working on a bunch of huge projects, including starting our 1-to-1 scale Colosseum, a gold farm to get some amazing blackstone and quartz blocks, and start up a shop for backup boxes. I hope you're excited for Titancraft Episode 3. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Titancraft here on Tango Tech's Patreon server. I hope you're having a great day. I am having a fantastic day here on the server. It's always a good day to be playing, and we have a bunch of huge projects to work on. I'm so excited, but real quick, before we get going on some of the builds that we're going to be working on today, I've been in desperate need of shulker boxes and diamonds, and I didn't really want to go strip mining or anything for those, or go to the end to collect them. In exchange for shulker boxes and diamonds, I decided to do a build for someone. So this build right here, this castle, was made for one of the people here on the server. I did not design this building at all, but the person who did design it didn't really want to go through all the effort of putting all the blocks down and counting it out. They just couldn't get the proportions quite right. And so they hired me and paid me quite a bit to copy it over from their creative world. So I take none of the claim for the design props, but it definitely did take a little bit of time to get this bad boy built up. So yeah, I figured it wouldn't be a super fun thing to show on an episode going back and forth between a creative and survival world, but just wanted to note that we did do this and got some chunk of change for it. Well, now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and start on our first project for the day. Since we're doing a giant Greek-style megabuild, we're going to need quite a few resources for it, and we've collected a lot of sandstone and sand in the last couple episodes to build our giant Colosseum. So we have all the resources for that, but we do need a lot of blackstone and quartz for Mount Olympus up in the clouds and some of the other temples and things like that. So I figured we might as well find a way to get a renewable source of these resources. Building a gold farm is going to be our go-to solution, and then after we build a gold farm, I think we'll go ahead and make a piglin trading hall. I don't think we'll get to the piglin trading hall this episode, but we're definitely going to get the gold farm done. Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have created ourselves a gold farm. It's actually designed by Shulkercraft, if you're interested in checking out some of his videos. He has some really easy and nice tutorials, so this isn't the most complex gold farm out there, but definitely sufficient for what we're trying to do. I think it turned out pretty good. We made it with a new friend I met on the server. Super awesome guy. Excited to hopefully do some things with him in the future. We're probably going to expand this gold farm by making more platforms or more farms. The whole point of us building this farm was so that we could trade with piglins to get blackstone and quartz for Olympus and a lot of the other builds that we have. In between episodes, I'll have to be AFK up on the platform up there. That way we can have enough gold for the Piglin Trading Center that we'll probably make next episode or the one after. Now that the farm's all done and dusted, we can move on to some building. Not farms, but actual buildings and things like that. Let me know down in the comments what farm we should make next. Should we make another gold farm? Multiple gold farms? Maybe the Piglin Trading Center? Or is there some other farm that you would like me to make? I'd really be curious to know, so let me know in the comments. With the gold farm project wrapped up, I think it's time that we move on to working on our mega base. And if you remember correctly from previous episodes, it is a Greek-style build with lots of different moving parts, and we're starting off the entire thing with a huge centerpiece of a 1-to-1 scale Roman Colosseum. I know it's technically Roman, but it's okay. It's kind of Greek, kind of. Now, I need an insane amount of materials for this project, and so I've spent the past month collecting them and also running a competition in the store we made in the first episode. People on the server have been competing for some prizes that I've mentioned before. If not, you might want to check out the last episode. I'll link it up in a card up top. But the competition has finally come to an end, so it's time for us to reward the prizes to the winners. So the top 5 winners got these backup boxes that I filled up and showed off at the end of last episode with fully enchanted gear, all the works, super cool stuff. But the top winner of the entire thing gets to have a custom decorated room in my 1-to-1 scale Colosseum because they're donating resources specifically for that project. I didn't record myself talking about it during the actual event where everyone got together and I announced the winners and rewarded the prizes because I was a little busy texting it into chat and typing out the winners. We didn't all hop onto a Discord call. Some people don't like to, some people do. It's a whole barrel in and of itself. I figured I'd just talk over the footage and kind of explain what's going on. The scores turned out as following. Scoop donated 1 shulker box, Hennis donated 5 shulkers, Cookie Hook donated 10 shulkers full of resources, Sammy Terry donated 17 shulkers of resources, which was the runner-up, so I felt bad and forked over 4 diamonds, which isn't really much, but it was better than nothing. Mailwiss got 18 full shulkers, just 1 more than Sammy Terry in 5th place. Achilles had 30 whole shulkers in 4th place. The Pineapple had 37 shulkers. Mega J World had 40 shulkers, and in 1st place we had Kelmore99, who donated 103 shulkers, which is absolutely bonkers. Apparently they're leveling like an entire sand or desert biome, which means he had a bunch of sandstone and sand on hand. And, you know, most people donated mostly sand because it's easier to collect for the most part, but Kelmore donated mostly sandstone, so it was pretty freaking crazy. A couple of the people that won prizes weren't there, so I had to bring their Did You Die or backup boxes to our mailing service or postal service. We each have our names on signs. I think I also showed that last episode. So basically I found their names and put their shulkers in there, which was pretty cool. I'll have to be in contact with Kelmore99 to talk about making his custom room, but first we actually have to build the Colosseum. I am pretty sure that we have enough resources for the whole thing, but it's hard to tell because it's so massive. However, we do have over 200 shulkers of materials, so I think we'll probably be okay. I started the next competition, which runs from December 1st to January 1st, and now we have different resources that people are collecting, which now include blackstone and quartz blocks. And the reason I'm doing this is because I need a ton of quartz blocks for the Athena City District outside of the Colosseum, and also for a lot of the Olympus temples up in the clouds. Blackstone is going to be something that I think will be a really good decorative item, especially for the Hades district, so I'm trying to really save up that blackstone as well. I had to come up with it on a whim. But yeah, hopefully everyone donates quartz and blackstone. Those are a lot more rare items, so I don't expect nearly as many donations as sand and sandstone, but it's definitely so helpful to have people on the server helping us out. And you know, it's amazing that these people donated all these resources to me, but that means the hard part is coming for me. Now I don't just get to sit around while people collect stuff for me. I actually have to build it. And that also means I have to start clearing out land and flattening the entire surface for the Colosseum to be placed on all at the same Y level. It's a lot of work, so this episode will probably take a little longer to get out than usual. But now that we've kind of taken a look at our competition and the results of that, I think it's about time to get into a time lapse of me getting the Colosseum all prepped and ready to go. It'll be grindy, but I'm sure it'll be worth it. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, what? This is, it's starting to actually come into shape. Like, everything is starting to look more like it's actually happening. Because I don't know if you noticed, but, comparative to last episode, this entire centerpiece used to be covered in hills and mountains and all those wonderful things, but not so wonderful for us because we need it flat to put the Colosseum down. So I had to do that off camera. In fact, I did that on a stream rather than the time lapse. Which, by the way, announcement, I actually started a Twitch channel. So if you want to see more of Titancraft and more behind the scenes, I would love to talk to each and every one of you. So make sure to go follow me on my Twitch. I will have it linked in the description. And I'll make sure to mention it at the end of the episode again because it really is so much fun to start actually talking directly to you guys rather than solely through the comments section, because even though comments are great, it's not the same as actually being able to hear my voice, at least in my opinion. So make sure to check out the Twitch, it'll be linked. But yeah, so we dug out and flattened with the help of someone else who was very generous in offering to help. We flattened out this entire area and then covered up areas that were holes in the ground, whether that was for trenches or things like that. So it took a few hours to get the whole thing done, but definitely worth it so we could get the whole thing ready to put the outline on. The outside here is going to be the outside of the Colosseum, and the interior ring right there, all inside of that oval, is going to be where people fight. And I don't necessarily mean that they have to fight, but it's going to be the center of the arena, so all the chairs will be going up from there out and around. We don't have enough time to actually start building up the walls, plus I'm still trying to wrap up the designs and creative, so we just really wanted to get some progress on this, because if we didn't, we really wouldn't get started. So I'm really happy with the progress. If you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. Makes me feel like I'm doing a Death Star trench run. I want to have bridges going over, but I need help deciding what's going to go inside of the trenches. I can do one of two things. First, we can leave the entire thing empty, but then decorate the sides so it doesn't look like a bunch of chunk errors. But decorate the sides with stonework and really make it look like cliff faces, so the bridges going over feel maybe a little more perilous. We could put some waterfalls going down. It could look really, really cool like that. And that was my initial plan. But the other option would be to fill it with glass. And the reason I think that's an option is because it would look pretty cool to have the entire thing full of glass effects. If you know what I'm talking about, you can space glass with half glass, half air layers so that it makes a really cool fog effect. So let me know down in the comments, do you think we should do the glass and have a fog effect all the way down to bedrock? Or should we have it decorated kind of like cliff faces and then put waterfalls going down it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think either one would be cool, so let me know. Speaking of the dig site, I was notified by one of the contractors that they did find something special inside of the dig site. I'm not really sure where it is or really entirely what it is. Like, I have some sort of clue, but I'm gonna have to look around for it. Oh, I think I found it just down here by the Nether thing. Is this? It's like a broken Nether portal. Huh. I wonder what's inside this chest. Ooh, baby. Look at this. We have a notch apple. An enchanted golden apple. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Looks like everything else is kind of just junk, but this is super valuable. It would be pretty hilarious if I just ate it right now, but I'm not going to throw away something like that. And while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and take that gold block real quick. Wow, but that is such a nice surprise. Honestly, I think I have an idea of what we could do with it. If you're familiar with Percy Jackson and also with some of Greek mythology, at one point Hercules went ahead and stole a golden apple from the Garden of the Hesperides. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Either way, Hercules went to a garden to steal a golden apple for the gods. Had to sneak past a dragon, all that cool stuff. And so I think maybe that garden would be a really cool thing to build as part of our base. One of the Greek gods I have a district lined up for, I think, is Demeter. Yeah, so here we are in my master plans of stuff. I have a pretty long book just so I have everything planned out for this season. As Demeter, I have farmland, wheat fields, a custom temple, a cornucopia, and pigs. that is not nearly as much to work with as like Hephaestus, who has a volcano and like metalworking and factories and stuff. I can go crazy with that, but I don't want to make Demeter's just a bunch of farms and things. So maybe we can put the garden there, even though, you know, canonically that's not really what happens in the story. I think having a garden that has the golden apple in it would be a super cool Easter egg. So maybe we'll use it for that. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the progress we made on the Colosseum, and now it's time to move on to our last project of the day. One thing that I think most people know about Minecraft is there's 3 dimensions. There's, of course, the Nether here, there's the overworld, you know, the basic place that you're always at, and, of course, there's the end as well. But on Titancraft, there's actually a 4th dimension. Yeah, that's right. There is a 4th dimension on the server. That dimension is called the Above, and basically what it is it's a bunch of islands way up in the sky that have bosses and puzzles that drop Titan shards, and you can use Titan shards for a couple things. So you trade them into this station somewhere in the Nether, and once you've traded it in, you can get some really cool stuff like custom enchantments and armor stand coupons to get a display done. You can get protection on an elytra. Yeah, so it's as if you're wearing a chest plate. You can get an axe that only does dark oak, or an axe that every time you kill a mob, it drops a head. There's some really, really cool stuff you can get from it. So basically everyone's going to this dimension right now. It just opened. The Above dimension just opened up recently because they didn't want a ton of people still to be on the server, and you know, trying to load 4 different dimensions is really tough on server quality. And so it's been a few months into the server now, and we're finally opening it up, and so people are going crazy trying to get these rewards. So I figured we can make a little bit of a profit off of it. And if you saw last episode, and actually the one before as well, we've been trying to make a Did You Die or backup box shop that sells fully enchanted tools, armor, all the stuff. And I figured we might as well reposition our store so that it's like we're selling boxes for the Above. Because if you die in the Above, you lose all your stuff. So you don't want to use your normal tools and weapons and armor. So we want to make sure that we can provide that to people, and I think they'll definitely buy it. So we're going to actually build our Did You Die box shop or backup box. We're actually going to call it an Above Kit shop. And we'll sell fully enchanted armor, potions, all the goodies, totems, everything you would possibly need when you're going to the Above. I've already designed the shop in creative, but I need to get all the resources to build it, and actually some boxes to stock the shop. So I'm going to go ahead and grind and get those boxes done, and also get all the resources we need to build the beautiful shop. And I'll be back when I'm done. Hello, and welcome back, everyone. You know, this is kind of random, but it's actually been a few days in real life since I recorded that last clip. And there's a pretty good reason for that. Basically, making those boxes with all enchanted armor and weapons, potions, that took a really, really long time, but I have 6 of them ready to be stocked. I have all the materials to make our shop. It's going to look absolutely killer. There's one other big reason why I haven't been able to do this sooner. I was actually invited to work on a big project with some other people for Christmas, and it's pretty time sensitive, so I had to work on it. And if you look behind me, you can see a little bit of what it might be. If you're familiar with Harry Potter at all, then you'll know that this is the train station, and if you go to platform 9 3/4, you should be able to go through the wall. Would you look at that? So really, really amazing project. We're building Hogwarts and Hogsmeade and all these really cool Harry Potter themed areas for the Christmas celebration that we're going to have here on the server, and there's a ton of crazy work that's been done in there. But I'm not going to go show off the work that I did. I spent hours and hours designing and building over there, doing some interiors. They were having a hard time doing some interiors for the Hogsmeade building, so I was put in charge of it. And it turned out pretty snazzy if you ask me. But I bring that up just because there's something super exciting to look forward to next episode. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit notifications so that you can see when we show off the Harry Potter buildings. And I'm not quite done with all of them yet. There's some awesome new additions that need to be added. But when we're all done with it, we're going to do a full Harry Potter / Hogwarts in Minecraft episode of Titancraft, and it's going to be so much fun. I promise it's not something you're going to want to miss out on. Really so cool. But after getting distracted for a little bit, we actually need to go build our shop. Getting all the levels and enchanting everything took forever. It really is not a fun task to do that. But, you know, we grinded it out, and we're going to charge a pretty high price for these because of the time we put in. And if people don't pay that price, that's okay, because we can end up lowering it in the future. It's better to start high and hope that people pay it, because then we get the big bucks, right? One great example of this is Cubfan135, who plays on the Hermitcraft server. He charges a diamond block per ancient debris, which is kind of ridiculous, but people paid it. So, I mean, who's the smart guy now? Probably him, because he's making bank off of that. So I figure we might as well charge, I think, 5 diamond blocks for our boxes, because if it's fully enchanted, you know, weapons and armor and stuff, I think we can charge that much. If people don't pay it, once again, we'll lower the prices. It'll work out. And after refueling on rockets here at the public rocket stand, very, very helpful. Thank you. I've gotten almost all of my rockets from here. It's actually time to build the shop, and I'm super excited for this design. Once again, the above is a dimension that is islands in the sky, and so I really played off of that in my design, and got kind of a bluish green or teal with brown and white, and I think that's a really cool block palette, and I'm super excited to show it off to you guys. So without further ado, let's get into building. Well, folks, there you have it. It's a little blocked by this wood sign, but there is the above shop. And as I said, you know, it's kind of just a small island that is up in the air that is just like the fourth dimension that I described earlier. And we have the big sign kind of with some nice brown, white, and turquoise colors. So I think it turned out really good in my opinion. I spent a lot of time trying to get the letters just right, and, you know, all the textures and colors on the actual island itself. So we're gonna take this little soul sand elevator up just to check out the shop, and it's really simple. Basically, we have the kits right here. Inside of a kit, this is kind of what you get. So you have the option between fire aspect and knockback on your diamond sword, and then you have all the other enchanted goodies, some potions, golden apple, all the good stuff. And I'm not sure if this is worth 5 diamond blocks. It really depends on other people's opinions. But we'll just have to see. If people start buying them, we'll keep the price of that. If they don't buy them for the next week or two, then we'll reduce the price a little bit. But of course, we have the ender chest and then kind of a sign to get down. You just fall down into the water here, kind of like in the above. I've heard when you actually go to that 4th dimension, when you're done with all the boss fights and the puzzles and all that jazz, you just walk off the edge of the island. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but we tried to capture that with the shop. So I think the shop turned out super good. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. And especially the time lapses that I was doing, the 3rd-person time lapses with the replay mod. I think it's really getting a lot easier to show off the builds I'm doing with that mod. So I hope you're enjoying that. Let me know if you like those time lapses in the comments. As we wrap up this episode, I would like to say 2 things. 1, thank you so much for watching, especially this far. I really do appreciate it, and if you did enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe, but also you're definitely going to want to subscribe for 2 reasons, and that is because we have a Secret Santa event coming up, which is going to be so fun, and a Christmas party here on the server, so I think you'd probably want to see that. And on top of that, we have the Harry Potter builds that I mentioned earlier that I'm doing for Hogwarts. I decided not to show that yet because that's going to be a whole episode on its own because the builds have taken forever. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure to subscribe. Once again, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time.